On this episode of the Procedurally Generated Show, Tony goes to hell, Ethan spaces out, and Cole builds an outhouse. Well, howdy everybody. Welcome to the Procedurally Generated Show. I'm your host Tony, and joining me this week, I've got Ethan.
Hi.
What's up?
I didn't know what to say for a moment.
I didn't know what to say for a moment either.
It's like, how do I introduce myself?
What are we doing?
Words.
Just say something. Anything. Doesn't matter.
Anything. Doesn't matter.
I suck at parking.
It's not a contest, Tony.
It was a contest, actually.
It really was.
I think you won more times than not.
Yeah, I got good.
You did get good at parking.
Until Peach sabotaged me. So.
Blame it on the cat. I mean, you know, if you're going to blame it on anybody, don't blame it on your own skills. Blame it on the cat. It's an easy scapegoat. Or,
no, it's a cat, not a scapegoat.
Oh, that's true. It's a scape cat. We could just blame it on Cole because he's back and he ran into us a whole bunch while we were trying to park.
Through what I can tell, I'm really good at driving. I'm just really bad at parking.
So we played You Suck at Parking before the show, and I am very surprised at how much fun that game was.
Yeah. I did not expect to enjoy a driving royale parking fun minigame thing.
Exactly. That's a good way to describe it, I guess. For anybody that doesn't know,
I have no idea how to describe that.
I don't know if this just came out or if it just came to Game Pass, but it is an 8-player online multiplayer game where the whole point is to just park in random parking spaces scattered throughout a level, and you have to do it by avoiding things like mines or magnets that will pull you off course, or me, or Cole, or Ethan.
Yeah.
There were a couple times that we ended up bouncing off of each other's roofs while we were trying to park, and it made for a really fun time. Like, I was very much enjoying the just random chaos of the game. And I think part of it is just because the controls and the gameplay itself were just incredibly good. Like, Fall Guys is the same type of thing that's just chaotic, but it doesn't control as nicely as I think this game did.
I've never played Fall Guys, so I don't know.
Well, you should not play Fall Guys. So
no, you can try. It's not going to work. You have a better chance of getting me to play Raid Shadow Legends, honestly.
Oh, you heard it, people. He's going to download Raid Shadow Legends and play it.
No. I said you had a better chance.
Oh.
The chance is still an absolute 0.
Well, then that's the exact... There has to be like a... there has to be like a 0.00001 chance that you'll play Raid Shadow Legends for it to be a better chance than playing Fall Guys.
I mean, if you're in the right situation, a gun to my head or something like that.
You're on a deserted island and you only have Cole's phone with you. And it only has Raid Shadow Legends on it.
That's true. That's the only game on my phone. Hello?
I can open the phone up. I can use the battery to possibly power a makeshift Morse code thing to do an SOS.
Raid Shadow Legends, I'm pretty sure you have to be connected to the internet to play it. So if you can play that, you obviously have some way to communicate with the outside world, and you could tell them that you're stuck on it.
It sends out a signal. I just have to hope someone's close enough to intercept it.
You have to hope someone is playing Raid Shadow Legends at the same time as you. And then figure out how to tap out some Morse code message in the game. so that they understand it. So, well, enough about Raid Shadow Legends. What else have you been playing this week, Cole?
So I downloaded a little game called Cult of the Lamb.
Okay.
Mhm.
And thought I'd try that out. Turns out it's pretty fun.
I've watched
turns
Ethan
out
play a bunch of this week.
Yeah, I watched Ethan play it a lot too. A little more fun with the Twitch integration, which isn't available.
Only a little more fun. Yeah, sure.
You can do things like make everyone and their followers poop.
Ethan's followers did that on their own enough. They didn't need help with that.
They pooped their beds.
Gross. Yeah, a lot of the game is spent cleaning up poop until you get outhouses. But once you have outhouses, then you just have to empty them until you can get people to do it for you, which I'm not there yet.
The game is
people actually do it for you though. I haven't found that yet.
Oh man!
Didn't you get your villagers to clean up after themselves for a while?
I got the janitor thing.
The janitor closet. They'll clean up vomit or poop if they do it, but they'll still try to go to the bathroom.
They're not going to clean out the outhouses though.
Oh, okay.
But it was really fun. I got my cult up to level 4, so they earn a lot of stuff, and I've got some cool upgrades to do stuff like fires at the little praying place makes it increase faster. Some propaganda speakers to make them mine faster or do their resources faster. It even makes them pray faster. It's pretty great, the power of technology.
And the game is like deceptively adorable.
Yeah, so it's really cutesy, but it's definitely like the same style and probably creators as Binding of Isaac. It's definitely the same style. It's not the same creators, but it definitely has that go in, explore a dungeon, get level ups and stuff like that. And then it has the cult part where you're getting all these followers and upgrades so that way you're stronger and you have cool resources and stuff. I'm not sure if there's an ending to it. There probably is.
There is.
But I'm having a pretty good amount of fun outside of the dungeon area. Like the dungeons, they're fun. They are. I do die a lot.
Don't do that.
But but you go through and you get to choose your paths, so it's very procedurally generated. It's kind of like actually that game might have been by that is by Devolver Digital, the card game with Leshy.
Gosh, what is that called? Inscription.
Yeah, Inscription. So yeah, Inscription was another digital Devolver game where you're playing a kind of like a card game.
That game is so meta. It's a game within a game, like within 2 other games.
Yeah, you play through the game and you unlock the ending, and then you're like, wait, no, this is not the ending. This is the beginning. This is Act 1 of a 4 or 5 act game. But the first boss, basically the guy you fight against, his name's Leshy, and the first guy in Cult of the Lamb, he's also Leshy. That's the first thing I noticed. I was like, these are very it's the same. It's not the same world, but pretty neat. So I've had some fun with that. I've just been mostly building my place. I haven't played it all that much. I played a little bit off and on throughout the week. I also been doing some Destiny, so that's been. I haven't put as much time in it as I'd like to.
Yeah,
but I have been enjoying watching Ethan play. It's pretty entertaining, even when you're not playing. For sure.
It's really fun to get in there. I accidentally killed one of his followers last night while I was watching the game, though.
Yes, he did.
Oh, you got that resurrect follower trait? I didn't get that. I don't know if I chose. So I guess obviously I chose something else.
You chose poorly.
Because I have all the tenants. I'm done with the tenants or whatever.
The divinations or whatever.
Yeah, so I probably
finished Mo today too.
I probably chose something else instead of
the
revive. But I mean, the way the game plays, even if I lose all my followers, you still can go through and get new followers and stuff like that. I'm sure.
You've died like 3 times, Potato. Cole.
I'm very proficient.
And I keep bringing you right back. I'm like, no, his soul is mine. Just reach into that void and bring you right back.
Yeah, well, I was watching last night, and I was playing Assassin's Creed at the same time, and I looked over and saw that the message to help him had popped up, and I kind of panicked because I was playing on the computer, and I couldn't just immediately switch over, and I tried to get over as quick as I could, hit the first option that I saw, and it was kill random follower. I was like, no, I don't want to do that, but it was too late.
And you killed me.
I killed somebody.
No. I think you killed someone I didn't care about, so I just left it.
It would have been funny if I'd have killed myself.
The third time Cole got killed, one of the heretics summoned him to fight me. And it's like, well, and then a beatdown happened.
Died again.
And it's funny because you're in the forest with me, and villagers back home are panicking because I destroyed your character.
Because you killed me.
yeah. It's like, how do they know?
I'm watching the footage from Cole's game right now, and I just saw the cult sitting down to eat a feast, and it looked like the lamb was pretending to eat, but wasn't actually eating the food.
Nice.
And I don't know if that's actually something that happened, or...
Well, it probably doesn't need to eat.
I assume it is something like there's something in the food that would make him not want to eat it, but, helps the followers to, trust him or, whatever.
It's a quick way to get rid of your hunger when you don't have the resources to build the food.
Yeah, that let them eat grass thing, that helps so much, too.
Yes, it does. Yeah. But aside from that, I played a little bit of Destiny. I had some old raiding buddies who were like, "Hey, do you want to help us with King's Fall?" That's the Destiny 1 raid that's new now in Destiny 2 with slight changes that make it very interesting.
We really need to clear that as a clan.
I know, yeah. We need to figure out like a Wednesday or a Saturday, probably a Saturday. We need to
we're all not busy.
We can all we're all off long enough to do a full raid. Because some of the things like the clan raid night, you have to do it all in like one setting, which it stinks. But I mean, the full raid, once you get good at a raid, you can get it done in like
we need like
hour.
We need like a good 3 to 4 hours, just nothing happening.
Exactly. But that would be fun, yeah. So it was nice to get back into the old raid, do some new stuff. Get refreshed on what the strategies are and everything, and then to be raiding with some old raiding buddies was nice. Still haven't got the exotic. Tried that in duality. Tried it in.
I got the sword.
Yeah, Ethan's finally got the duality sword, so I still got to work on that. And
we need to run you through there, and I need to get my catalyst. So
I need the sword from duality. I need the exotic from King's Fall, and I still need the exotic from Vow. But I'm more focused on King's Fall right now than I am Vow, even though Vow is... They're both pretty fun. I don't know that one's more fun than the other, but that's about it for me. I did some Destiny, I did some Cult of the Lamb, I downloaded the Suck at Parking and Sucked at Parking. That's me for this week. What about you, Ethan?
So, I mean, there was a lot of Cult of the Lamb. And I mean a lot. Like, I think I streamed it multiple times this week. Like,
yeah, pretty much every time I saw you online, you were playing Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah. I didn't stream it today. I just played offline because mostly I wanted to do some cleanup on the
village or whatever you call it.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it, the base. And ended up actually like taking out a heretic or two in the process. So that happened. I found some hidden secrets here and there. You need 5 snail shells, Cole. I'm just gonna tell you And there's 5 specific locations, and you can find the hidden snail statues and fix them.
Sweet.
Let's see. Other than that, was it Tim Tam?
I think Tim is how I pronounce it.
I feel no need to go back to that.
You've played enough of that at this point?
I don't even want to go back to it. It's like, other than the battle system being good, everything else is just in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like it, so that's the rest of my review from last time I talked about it.
Okay. You're done with Tim.
Yeah. I'd rather play that than Raid Shadow Legends, so.
Oh, wow. We're getting a ranking now of the games Ethan wants to play the least. Fall Guys
It's just
is the bottom of the list.
I'm wondering how big this list actually is.
I'm going to start compiling the list, and by this time next year, we'll see what this list looks like.
The thing, I don't know if I've talked about this game on the show before. Faster Than Light, FTL.
I don't know if you have or not.
So, FTL, I'm playing FTL Advanced Edition.
Okay.
And that's actually what it's called, FTL. So
yeah.
I said what it actually stood for, just to begin with. I'm actually playing Jason's copy on Steam, and I noticed I actually own a copy on Epic Game Store, so I don't feel as bad. I'll let you understand that process there.
It's okay to share games, Ethan.
No, I'm not talking about the game sharing. I'm just saying I'd rather play it off Steam and not Jason have to own it.
Oh.
Even though I own a copy.
I just don't want to open the Epic Game Store.
Exactly, you get it. This is, oh gosh, how do I explain what FTL is? You know what, I'm just going to go to the store page. That'd probably be the quickest and easiest way to explain this. This is oh gosh, we got quotations here. This spaceship simulator, or spaceship simulation roguelike allows you to take your ship and crew on an adventure through a randomly generated galaxy filled with glory and bitter defeat. And that bitter defeat, there's a lot of that. just a sopping wet rag of bitter defeat thrown in your face 90% of the time you play this, even on easy mode.
That's pretty much the hallmark of a roguelike, though. They're designed to kill you a lot.
I put it on easy mode just so I would stand a chance. First encounter, I got obliterated. Like, they just locked me down with something.
Mm-hmm.
So I had no weapons. I have no way to attack. I have no way to do anything. So it's like, all right, I guess I can just sit here and get shot to death now. This is my life. And that's what happened.
Okay. Yeah, I'm watching this and I'm trying to figure out what this game is.
It's actually pretty good. There's a whole in-depth system in here of resource management, crew and weapon power management as well. Oh gosh, there's so much going on. Because you have to keep track of your fuel, you have to keep track of your missiles, your resources, your bots.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to like level up stuff that costs money. And then it's like, okay, well, I also have shields, I have a hull, and each of my crew people have health bars, and they all have their own individual stats that level up individually. And so you're just randomly traveling to various beacons in each galaxy you visit. And it's just, you're trying to go through 7 sectors of space so you can get a message delivered or something. And when you get to that place to deliver it, you get attacked by a big, big ship.
Oh, great.
There's always a bigger ship.
Yeah. So after a bunch of trial and error and finally getting a win, I decided to look up how to edit stuff, the save files,
mm-hmm.
and just like even if you can do that, it's still like not a guarantee to win, but you're probably going to get to the end every time if you do that. But I've been just going around like build up like a crew that's of energy beings, so I always have like max power to everything I need.
Okay.
And just going around saying, okay, what if I just kill off all the pilots on the people on this ship? What happened? Okay, well, there's no one to shoot at me now, so the ship just is just floating in space. No one on there. So I'll pull my guys back, and you'll see the shields like turn back on the ship because it's automated.
Yeah.
But it's not going to attack. So you get fun little things like that, or get to the final boss and you destroy like the left section, the right section, and the middle section, and that takes it out. I was trying to destroy all the people on the ship, so its weapons are actually individually located on with people in there. Took all those out because there's no way for anyone to get in there to attack my crew in that case.
Yeah.
So I just teleported people directly in, and then teleport them back out, wait a little bit, do the next gun. And so eventually it's like all their weapons are taken out and I can just try to invade, and they'll get so low on life and then run off to the medical room, and they heal faster than you can beat them. So It's just a war of attrition and trying to take out the healing room so you can take them all out. And then you accidentally destroy a section of the ship and they jump immediately, and then you have to chase them down and repeat the process. Yep.
This is the kind of game that looks like I would want to watch some very lengthy tutorials on YouTube to figure out exactly how to play it.
I watched Barbarous King playing it, and you're not all the ships have like the ability to teleport onto the other ship.
Mm-hmm.
He just happened to have like unlocked a ship that had that ability, and he was using that and said that was really fun. He treated it as his trolling ship, and so he would just go in, have like a huge shield thing going on, teleport his like Mantis crew in there. Instead of a healing bay, he had a clone bay, so teleports them over, they get killed, they just come right back and get teleported again. So it's just constant attacking on the inside.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about going through there. I'm going to try to see what I can figure out with the drones or the robots or whatever you want to call them, see if I can figure out something fun with that.
Okay.
And probably go through the advanced mode and have some fun with that stuff as well.
Yeah.
Legitimately, I'm not going to mess with the save editor. I just wanted to see if I can mess with certain things and have some fun with it. And I did, so.
Now it's time to play the game the right way.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, FTL, I know this game's like 10. Oh, wow.
It's old.
It is 10 years old as of 3 days ago.
Wow.
Speaking of things that are old,
Uh-huh.
on this day, 13 years ago, we became a community.
Did we?
Cole?
13 years ago.
13 years ago. Yep, at Greendale Community College. Community. It's 13 years
First
ago.
aired 13 years ago.
Yep.
And I still have not seen it.
Why have you not seen that?
I've watched half of the first episode, and that's as far as I've gotten.
Came out in 2009.
We should have. Oh man, we should have made him watch today.
I was in Arkansas today.
We still have like an hour and a half to make him watch like 3 episodes.
We've got to finish recording a podcast.
Okay, I'm right. I'm hitting the stop button right now. Let's go do this.
Yeah, I could not have watched it today. We got up this morning and decided to drive to Arkansas, so we spent the day in Arkansas.
That's random.
Yeah.
We do that. You know,
we're random like that.
We do occasionally. Usually, it's my wife waking me up saying, "Hey, I want to go for a drive today," and we'll go to Arkansas, or we'll go to the Tall Grass Prairie, or we'll go to a museum in Oklahoma City, or whatever. Yeah. But
that's cool.
The kids needed to get out of the house for a while today.
Yeah.
So, Well, is that
What
it for
else?
you?
What else involves getting out of the house or being in the house pretending you're out of the house?
Playing video games.
Really, such as?
Well, I'm not sure how you're trying to get me to segue from Arkansas to hell. Um,
Same thing.
I mean, they're basically the same thing. Uh, I have been playing a game that just came out this week. It dropped on Game Pass on Thursday, I want to say. Metal Helsinger is the name of the game. And I remember when I think they first announced this game earlier this year, maybe at E3. And it was like, yeah, okay, that looks cool. It's a shooter. It's got some music in it. I don't know that that's going to be my kind of thing. I downloaded this on a whim, and I played almost all the way through the game in one sitting. It is incredibly fun. If you take something like Doom, a fast-paced shooter, fighting against demons and whatnot, and you take another game like Crypt of the Necrodancer, which is a rhythm-based roguelike, and you smash those together, that's what Metal Helsinger is. You're playing Doom to the beat of the soundtrack.
That's awesome.
And it is incredible.
I really do want to see like a mod in Doom that's just this now.
Oh, I mean, somebody's got to do it, right?
I would hope so. I mean, it looks really metal to me.
I mean, it is. I mean, if you're watching it, it is Doom. You're shooting the demons, and after a couple of shots, they have a thing that pops up on them, and you hit a stick, and you go in and you do this brutal kill on them, and they drop, health drops or, whatever, and you pick that up, and it is very much like Doom in that respect. And the game, it's not long, like it's only 8 levels, so I mean, if you're really good, you could finish it fairly quickly. But you're encouraged to replay it because it is a score-based, shooter where you're trying to chain combos together, keep your score multiplier as high as it can possibly go for as long as it can possibly go, and just get the highest score possible. But man, this game is so good. Like the combat, the shooting is really, really tight. I mean, it's got to be to, be able to play to the rhythm of songs. And the soundtrack, unbelievable soundtrack. I want to have a copy of this soundtrack because it's really, really good. But yeah. Like, I've played through, I think, 6 of the 8 levels at this point. I played through all of those, or 4 of them the first night, played through a couple the next day, and then, of course, I was gone all day today, or I'd have finished the game, and then gone back and played it. But, like, the weapons, really good. You've got shotguns, you've got, you can dual-wield pistols. You have this skull that shoots flames out of it. You have a sword, so you can just melee everything, and of course every weapon does different types of damage to different things. So having the proper loadout for a level can make a huge difference on what kind of score you end up with.
Cool.
It is incredibly good. It's on Game Pass. You've all got it. I highly recommend you play this game.
Okay. All right, he told us to play the game. See y'all later. Play the game.
Bye.
So, and as you're playing, you're getting into the rhythm of the music. And I found I was not doing very well until I actually started tapping my foot to the beat of the music while I was playing, and I could keep a better rhythm, for the music in my, at the same time, as long as my foot was tapping properly. And then, right. As you're getting close to being out of ammunition, it'll give you an indicator, reload coming, with like 25% of, your ammunition left. And then when you run out, a gold bar will pop up in the rhythm section of the reticle. And if you hit the reload button at the exact time that gold bar pops up onto the screen, you actually get a perfect reload, and it lets you get right back into shooting immediately. You don't have to wait for the full reload. So kind of like Gears of War with their reload system. If you time that just right, you get you get a faster reload and a better chance to get back into the fighting very quickly. Because some of those weapons take a really long time to reload. So, I mean, it's like 3 or 4 seconds that you're just sort of vulnerable to everything that is trying to kill you. But yeah,
I've been watching 8-Bit Ryan play this, and I actually watched him play like the original demo that was out a couple of months ago, I guess.
yeah.
Which it wasn't that different from what he showed in the main video, which I think he went to basically the same thing, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, like you said, like tapping your foot to the beat to keep up with it. I'm watching him and I'm doing like a 4 count, like to the beat on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Like it looks great. I want to play it. I'm going to try it out. But like I said, I watched him play it, and like my only gripe with it right now is whenever you get that multiplier up to like 16 and like your music gets more intense, the better you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Devil May Cry, like the better you do, the better the music.
Yeah.
Like you get the vocals when you hit that times 16, and it's like always the same song. It's like, can we get something different here? Like Devil May Cry was guilty of that too. You had to actually manually go in and change the music.
No, the full game it has, you know, different music for each level. I don't know the full size of the soundtrack. I don't know if it's completely random or if it is, you know, specific songs for specific levels. I wasn't paying that much attention to it. But I did notice the tracks. I mean, some of them sound similar, and there may be some of the same bands playing the music.
I just couldn't tell anything different in what the girl was singing on there. It sounded identical each time.
Yeah. That could just be, you know, because it's the same voice. It
might possibly be that, yeah. But I don't know. He only did like 2 levels on there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I love this game. I am very like with You Suck at Parking. I was very surprised at how much I enjoyed the game, because I wasn't sure how a shooter that you had to play. I mean, you don't have to play it to the rhythm of the music. You can obviously just shoot your way through the levels, but you're not going to get high scores. And the point of the game is to, you know, get into a rhythm, you know, no pun intended, and get those score multipliers up and just get as high a score as possible. So, and when you do get in that rhythm and you see, like, there were a few seconds, and I've saved some clips. Unfortunately, the weird thing that I don't know if it's just something that's weird with my Xbox or not, but the sound on clips that I recorded doesn't sync properly to the visuals that are happening on screen.
Weird.
But man, when you get in, like, there's a few seconds where I had the shotgun and it's boom, reload for like 7 or 8 seconds in a row, and it's just enemy, dead. And it felt so good. Like, when you get into that flow and you get into that rhythm, it is incredible how good it feels to play the game to the beat of the music. So
interesting.
I said on Twitter right after playing this that I want more to this game. Like, I will buy DLC for this game in an instant if they give me more music and more levels to play through. So, but that is what I have been playing. Absolutely love Metal Helsinger. You should definitely play it because it is really good. But let's take a quick break. We've got quite a bit of news to go through this week. All right, and this week was almost like a mini E3. I mean, TGS was happening. We knew that was going to be a thing. But Nintendo and Sony both decided, you know, we're going to get in on the fun too, and we're going to have presentations. So there was a 43-minute long Nintendo Direct on Thursday, I think? Wednesday or Thursday.
I think they were both no, hold on.
They were both on the same day.
I think they were Wednesday.
Was it Wednesday?
I don't know what day it was.
It was September 13th, so...
That was Tuesday.
Okay, so it was Tuesday. So, Nintendo announced quite a bit of stuff. overall, I thought the presentation was probably about a B minus. If I had to give it, a letter grade, I thought it was weirdly paced. There was some spots where they focused on things that maybe felt like they didn't really need to focus on, and then other things that they announced that they really should have put more time into. They started off with a brand new Fire Emblem game that is coming in January, I believe, called Fire Emblem Engage.
Where you marry all the waifus.
Well, I think this is closer to something like Tokyo Mirage Sessions, where you call on the spirit of past Fire Emblem heroes, and you get access to their abilities through these rings that you're wearing.
Okay.
I all for more Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem is one of my favorite franchises of all time, but I really would like to see them focus on Advance Wars for a little while and maybe give Fire Emblem a little bit of a chance to breathe. Because
we've gotten going to release the game to the public now.
Man, I really hope they do. They're still not saying it's canceled or off the schedule completely. They're like, it's coming. We'll give it a release date when we're ready. But
we know it's a fully done game. People have played it, and Nintendo got rid of the ability to play it for those who tried later. So.
I want more Advance Wars. That's what I want. I want more Advance Wars. Like, I love the just abundance of Fire Emblem we've gotten, but Intelligent Systems has other games that they make, and I'd like to see some of those games get the spotlight for a little while. This Fire Emblem game, though, don't get me wrong, looks incredible. Like, I'm going to play it. I'm going to love it. It is really, really cool. I like the character design of the new protagonist, which is leaning very heavily into the Switch theme that you saw a lot very early on with the Switch, with the red and blue color schemes for everything.
Yeah, they're all in on that.
Yeah. The main character has red and blue hair. Their eyes are the opposite color, red and blue. Like, their hair is split red on one side, blue on the other, and then their eyes are backwards of that. I thought it for just a second during the trailer that it was a Monster Hunter game that they were showing off, because there's a giant monster that they fight at one point during the trailer. January 20th, that's when it comes out. I just saw it on the trailer. So, what else did they show off? It Takes Two is coming to the Switch on November 4th, which I'm surprised. I thought that game was already on Switch. I don't know why.
I didn't even know it wasn't on Switch. So.
That's what I'm saying. I thought it had been on Switch for a long time at this point.
Is that going to be like co-op local only, or
no?
Online?
It will be online, and just like with other versions of the game, if you don't own it, you can download like the free, as long as your friend is playing, you can play the game too thing. So
the freeloader edition, got it.
Yeah. So it will be local or online, whichever you prefer. So, Fatal Frame: Mask of the Lunar Eclipse is coming. That is a port of the Wii game.
That was like the first one we didn't get over here or something?
I don't know.
And that was the one with like the Zero suit in there or something from Metroid.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's cool to see that coming out here officially.
Like, every time they announce another Fatal Frame game is coming, I'm like, oh, hey, yeah, that's a thing. And then I forget Fatal Frame is a thing for a few more years, and they announce another Fatal Frame or a port of a Fatal Frame. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. I'll never play Fatal Frame because it looks spooky. Me and scary games, don't get along. So
I definitely own the first one. I think I own more than that, but I cannot get too far in there. I just
the frames are too fatal.
I just nope out of it. And the fact that you can get attacked anywhere and any time on there.
Yeah. Like, I like the idea of Fatal Frame and going around and hunting ghosts with a camera and doing all that, but that's not the kind of game I will ever play.
It is like the Japanese horror game right there.
Yeah. They announced the next wave of Xenoblade Chronicles DLC, so you're going to be getting more characters and more More content for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 on October 13th. We're getting another fitness game. And this is not one I ever would have thought, that is a fitness game I want to play, because it's Fist of the North Star Boxing.
And you too can Omaiwa Moshindaru, people.
Honey?
So,
I really can't believe this is a thing. It's just so crazy.
It was the most bizarre announcement of the whole Direct, I think. Because nobody would have thought, Fatal Frame and rhythm boxing game is what I want. So,
it's the game no one knew they needed in their life.
Exactly. A game you should play, though, is Tunic. And Tunic is coming to the Switch on September 27th.
Yeah, I should play that sometime.
This is another one of those games that I thought was already on the Switch for some reason. I thought it had come to everything all at once. But it's not on Switch. It is very heavily inspired by Zelda. You play as a little fox in top-down dungeon crawler. There's a lot of inspiration from the Zelda series in that. It's a hard game too. Like, it is not a simple game. It looks cute. It looks fun. But
it is very unforgiving.
It is very unforgiving. We're getting a new Spongebob game. They showed off that, the Cosmic Shake, which they had announced earlier this year. They just showed off another trailer for the Spongebob game.
Yeah, that's how they got the original voice actors back too.
Yeah, so this is that sort of pseudo-sequel to Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Yeah. They're riding on the flames of how popular that remake or re-release or whatever it is.
Like that got a lot of attention when it came out, and for good reason. It's a really good game. Like,
oh yeah.
Front Mission, we are getting 3 Front Mission games. These are remakes of Front Mission 1, 2, and 3.
Looks like 1 and 2 will be out fairly soon, and the third one a little bit later.
Front Mission 1 comes out November this year. Front Mission 2 will be sometime in 2023, and they haven't given a date yet for Front Mission 3.
Yep, there you go.
The announcement of the show for me was the remake of Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life coming to the Switch. It will not have the Harvest Moon name, though, because they can't use that name. It is Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life. This is a remake of the GameCube game in the Harvest Moon series. First Harvest Moon game I played, very much looking forward to this one. They are giving it a major overhaul in the visual department. It is now going from that weird sort of, we wanted to try to make it look really lifelike, to a much more cel-shaded, cartoony look to the game.
I just want more of what it looked like on PlayStation and Nintendo 64.
You want like the top down?
That was that was peaked right there. It peaked right there, and it's been downhill ever since.
You want more like Stardew Valley style Harvest Moon?
No. I want like Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 1.
Okay.
If you've never seen it on those, you're missing out.
Yeah, see, I have not. So, I have a lot of experience with the Super Nintendo and Game Boy Harvest Moons, and everything from GameCube on. So, the N64, PlayStation 1, I never played any of those.
Okay.
They announced the first post-launch Splatfest for Splatoon 3. It will be taking place between September 23rd through September 25th, and you will be fighting over what you want to bring with you to a desert island. And your options are gear, grub, or fun. So, I think I'm going Team Grub, because you definitely have to have food if you want to survive on a desert island.
I'm not going to participate.
You don't have Splatoon 3.
I don't.
So, you want more Octopath Traveler?
Yeah, I need to finish the first one.
So do I. I haven't finished it yet. Octopath Traveler 2 will be out on February 24th of 2023. So, that game has been hugely popular for Square Enix, has been the, the lead in a brand new sort of visual style for a lot of Square Enix RPGs. With good reason. It is an incredible looking game. So we'll be getting more Octopath Traveler 2. The second of 4 farming simulators that were announced during the Direct, Fae Farm, is coming. This one is a much more cutesy, sort of Animal Crossing style farming game that'll be out in the spring. Theater Rhythm is coming to Switch, and it is coming with a lot of content. There are going to be 385 songs in the base version of the game.
My goodness.
From not only Final Fantasy, but Nier, Octopath Traveler, Live Alive. I think there's Dragon Quest music in the game. And there are also 2 collector's editions that will give you close to, I think it's 502 songs if you get the biggest, like $100 version of the game.
Yeah, I think that sounds like, that sounds about right.
So
I would love to like get a copy of this, just start going through like the list of songs, and just find this one little hidden gem in there, and it's from Robotrek.
Oh yeah,
I just think that would be the coolest thing ever. I know it's not going to happen.
No.
Or will it?
It might. You never know. I don't know. I have not seen the full song list, so I don't know everything that's in there.
They could easily sneak that Quintet trilogy stuff in there, so that's part of that, kind of. I don't think it's part of the trilogy, but it's part of it.
Yeah. So, I have played the demo of Theater Rhythm on the 3DS, but I have not played it full.
I have it on 3DS.
They showed off a little bit more of Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I am going to buy that game on day 1. Guaranteed, because I love that game. The third of the farming simulators, Rune Factory 3, is coming to the Switch. This is a remake of the 3DS game, I think, or DS game.
I think it was 3DS.
It is.
It doesn't really matter. It's a
it's a remake of Rune Factory, which is was a spin-off of Harvest Moon that added dungeon crawling to the game.
Because that's what Harvest Moon needed, more dungeon crawling.
They were trying to make it more RPG-ish, and thought dungeon, and it did. I really like Rune Factory. That's a fun twist on the Harvest Moon, sort of formula.
But I don't want to build a factory of runes.
Okay, well, you don't have to. You could just farm if you want. You don't have to get into the Rune Factory business.
How about you tell me about the Nintendo 64?
Well, we're getting some more Nintendo 64 games, and they're going to be...
Is Harvest Moon 64 one of them?
No, unfortunately not. No, they're going to be drip-fed over like the next 8 months. It's
okay.
Mario Party, Mario Party 2, Mario Party 3, Pilot Wings 64, 1080, Excite Bike 64, Pokemon Stadium 2, and the big announcement that was the, aha, this is finally coming, was GoldenEye. Is coming to the Switch
with online
online play. Yes, which the Xbox version of the game will not have. They have confirmed that is the case. It will have split screen local co-op only.
So this will be in the N64 thing with online play?
Yes, this will be in the N64 Nintendo Switch Online program with online play.
So there'll be screen watching anyway.
Of course.
Okay. That's cool.
The greatest name for a Square Enix RPG ever, Various Daylife, was announced to be coming to the Switch. That is out. That was released the same day as the Direct.
These are like just the naming algorithm for these games now. Like Octopath Traveler, Bravely Default, Various Daily Life, Triangle Strategy,
Geofield Chronicles.
It's like refrigerator management. It just at some point you're just calling the game exactly what it is.
Yeah. And the thing is, they use that same font, that same logo style, and the same visual style for all of them. So it seems like all of them are part of like the same universe, and that's not really the case. It's just Square Enix has gone with this, sort of generic unified look for a lot of their RPGs, and none of them are related to each other in any way.
Not yet, anyway.
So, Various Daylife was an Apple Arcade exclusive. I think it was on Apple Arcade a year ago, and now it is coming to the Switch. Mario Strikers Battle League is getting a free update this month, and it will add Pauline and Diddy Kong as playable characters to the game, as well as adding more stadiums to play in and more gear. They announced
about Mario Kart.
They announced the third wave of Mario Kart DLC will be out in the holiday, I assume December, because that'll be 4 months after the last round of DLC. 8 tracks, they announced 2 of them, and it is Merry Mountain from Mario Kart Tour, which is a Christmas-themed track, and then Peach Gardens from Mario Kart DS.
Oh.
So, which is a great track. I love Mario Kart, or Peach Gardens. That was on the DS, and I think that was also on Mario Kart 7 on the 3DS. I think that one has been out twice at this point on 2 different systems. So, the first big update for Switch Sports will be sometime this holiday. It was originally supposed to be in the fall. They have pushed that back to holiday. It will add golf with online play for up to 8 players as a free update to the game. Mr. Miyamoto then came out and showed off a bunch of Pikmin Bloom stuff.
And then he took off his jacket and was like, "Look at my shirt!
I made a new shirt."
And it ripped.
And then he announced that Pikmin 4 is still coming. They've already announced Pikmin 4. I think it went through a big development sort of reboot, and
it looks good.
Got restarted. They have changed the camera position from like an overhead camera to down at the same level as the Pikmin, but that's all they showed off. So. But yeah, Pikmin 4 will be out sometime. They say in 2023. They showed off no other gameplay, no other details about Pikmin 4, just that it is going to be out in 2023. Just Dance is coming, Ubisoft said. We know that. The fourth of the farming simulators, Harvestella, which is from Square Enix, is coming on November 4th, and a demo for that dropped that same day. I've played the demo. It is incredible. I will be buying Harvestella. What?
Did you see the hard drive article where it's like, right after the Direct, it's like, Nintendo Direct was nothing but oh gosh, what do they call it? Stardew Valley ripoffs.
No, I didn't see that.
I'm massively paraphrasing that. It's like, okay, I get it.
Harvestella, very much like Rune Factory, is the farming and RPG together. There's this mysterious crystal that comes down, and somebody comes out of the crystal. She is a mysterious girl. You don't know anything about her. It looks very much like Harvest Moon, Final Fantasy smashed together into a game. I played the demo. It's really, really fun. Like, it's really good. And that'll be out on November 4th.
Cool.
They announced that a trailer for Bayonetta would be shown after the Direct. They didn't put it in the Direct. They put it after the Direct.
But they did show some new stuff during the Direct.
Yeah, I think it was 7 minutes long, the trailer that they showed after the Direct.
Yep.
Capcom announced Resident Evil Village is coming to the Switch, as well as Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, and there was one other one. Or was it just 2, 3, and Village?
I think just 2, 3, and Village.
It might have been just 2, 3, and Village. Then they dropped a demo for Resident Evil Village that same day. Of course they were going to, because all of these Resident Evil games are cloud versions. So they are not native to the Switch. They will all be cloud versions. I played the demo, put a video of it up on the YouTube channel. The demo, if you don't make it all the way through, only lasts 5 minutes. So I made it through the demo in just about 3.5. So speedrunner. Yeah. My connection held. It worked really great. It plays like, you would expect a Resident Evil game to play. But yeah, they will all be cloud versions that you will have on Switch. So you won't be able to play them on the go, but if you're in your living room, you'll be able to play them.
Don't play them on a sunny day.
No, because they're the cloud versions. You have to play them on cloudy days.
Exactly.
Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion is coming to the Switch on December 13th.
Yep. Radiant Silvergun coming to the Switch.
That will be out this coming Tuesday. So,
and that is a very expensive original game on Sega Saturn, I believe.
Yeah.
Japan only.
I think it was Sega Saturn. I think it came to an Xbox as well at some point.
It did as a downloadable thing. Yeah. It's fine.
Tales of Symphonia Remastered is coming to the Switch next year. The Romancing Saga Minstrel Song Remastered is coming to the Switch on December 1st. This was all in a, quick montage. Lego Brick Tales from Thunderful is coming in the fall. Disney Speedstorm coming later this year. We've known that. They showed off just a little bit of that. Fall Guys Season 2 starts on September 15th. And we are getting a remake of Kirby's Return to Dreamland, which was a Wii game.
I didn't know I actually had the Wii version of this game.
You should just hold off for the Switch version.
Oh, I am. It's like, I was talking to, I think, Jason Stewart about it, and it's like, wait a second, I have this on the shelf.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's just right here with my Wii U games. I can see it.
It's a really fun 4-player Kirby game. It is getting a visual overhaul to go from 480p to full HD, and they are changing up the visual style and going away from the big full 3D models to like a more cel shaded, like heavy outlined visual style for the game. And that will be out on February 24th. So, and then they did their, this is going to be the last thing we show, and it was Zelda, Breath of the Wild 2, which has a proper name now. Instead of Untitled Zelda Sequel or Untitled Breath of the Wild Sequel, it is called The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Untitled Breath of the Wild Sequel. I want that to be a thing. You just play as a goose running around Hyrule.
Oh my gosh. If someone hasn't done that, they need to do that now. I'd play Untitled Hyrule Goose. Yeah. That would be a great... Just have a goose walk up to Ganon and just start honking at him. But yeah, they showed off like 10 seconds of footage of Tears of the Kingdom. That is it. I really thought they were going to, put a focus on it and give us some actual information of that, because we know nothing about that game other than it takes place on the ground and in the sky, and Link and Zelda are in it. That's it. That's all we know. So that is what they ended the direct with. What was that?
I was going to say, there's probably some weapons in there.
I mean, yeah, they probably break as well, if I'm guessing.
Dang it.
So, get ready for that. Oh, there was an Atelier Ryza 3 trailer shown off as well. I think I missed that somewhere. I don't really know much about that series, but there's a third game in that franchise coming. So, there you go. That is the news from the Direct. Is there anything that just stood out for you guys, or that you're, super excited to get a chance to play?
Just the big hitters in there. Kirby, Bayonetta.
Like, I was surprised at how many farming simulators there were, and how many of them I'm probably going to play. I think 3 of the 4 I have a lot of interest in. The only one I don't is maybe Rune Factory, because I've played a bunch of that already. And with Harvestella, I think that's probably going to be a better style, that farming simulator / dungeon crawling RPG. What about you, Cole? The Mario Kart DLC, is that what you're most excited for?
I don't even have Mario Kart.
Oh. Well, then you probably wouldn't be very excited for the Mario Kart DLC.
I mean, that's exciting. I get that. Mario Kart's a good game.
Mario Kart's a really good game. So, Later that day, Sony had their State of Play, and I was surprised at. I mean, there was one game we'll get to in a little bit that was announcement of the show. Hands down, gave Sony the win in my opinion. If you're, doing that, who won the E3 type thing. They started off with Tekken 8, showed off some of the new Tekken. Looks like Tekken. I mean, I don't know a lot.
It was very Tekken.
I don't know a lot about Tekken other than dude gets thrown in a volcano. I've watched the anime that just came out on Netflix a little while ago.
Dudes are always thrown in volcanoes.
Heihachi has amazing Dr. Wily hair, and there's a tiger. So that's what I know about Tekken.
It looked really awesome. I'm not sure what the gameplay actually looks like, but Tekken's always looked really good on the gameplay. I would rate it definitely above Dead or Alive, which is why it still has games in the series versus Dead or Alive, which is falling into fan service.
Yeah. I think this is going to be PlayStation 5 exclusive for Sony.
I think it's exclusive for a little bit. I don't know on that one.
But as far as it is not going to be a cross-gen game, it is going to be PS5 only, from what I understand. So I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on that. But it looked an awful lot like a PS5 game. They showed off some VR Star Wars. A couple of VR 2 games. One of them was the Star Wars game called The Galaxy's Edge, which I think means it is going to be a lot like the Galaxy's Edge stuff at Disney World. Is that where it's at?
Yeah.
I don't know. It seemed to be like a lot of fun though, like a lot of just funny experiences there.
Like it is not a super serious Star Wars game in any way. So showed off another one, an RPG dungeon crawler called Demio, which looked really good. Very interested in seeing that. I'm going to save the next announcement because I want that one to be the one we end on. Not the Harry Potter. Hogwarts Legacy is getting...
Harry Potter!
Hogwarts Legacy is getting PlayStation exclusive content, which is very scary. It is Haunted Hogsmeade, so it looks very much like, you get a little bit of spooky content in your Harry Potter game, which makes sense.
A little bit. I mean, it seemed to be like the entire focus there.
I mean, yeah, that's what the entire focus on that is going to be. It's going to be a sort of horror-style game set in that Hogwarts Legacy world. So, and that will be exclusive to the PlayStation, which kind of stinks because it looked really fun. Like, I would actually play something like this. It looked really good. I really hope they sort of bring it to other systems at some point, like it's exclusive to PlayStation for a year or whatever, and then it comes to other systems. A first-person driving survival game called Pacific Drive, which will be out next year on PS5 and PC.
Yeah, I didn't know how to feel about this one. It was like interesting, but weird.
Look out for the sequel, Atlantic Drive, coming next year.
You start in the Pacific, and then you just make your way
in the
east.
minigame Pacific Camp Park.
Dang it! The footage is ruining my surprise. Oh well. We'll talk about it. Announcement of the show for me was not Yakuza Ishin, because it's not called Yakuza anymore. They are sort of phasing out the Yakuza name here in North America, and they're going with the Japanese Like a Dragon title for everything now. So this is Like a Dragon Ishin, which was the Yakuza game set in feudal Japan.
This is the second feudal Japan one. I think we're not going to get the first one ever.
Kenshin
Various reasons why I'm not going to go into on this show. But this looked really good.
This was definitely announcement of the show for me. I played the demo for this back on the PS4 when it first came out, and was so very disappointed we were never going to get this game. And I didn't think this was ever going to come here. Like, just straight up. And we are getting the game ported over here to North America, and I am super excited to play this.
The fact that they reworked the game from the ground up for this release too is just awesome.
So, and that is the first of 3 Like a Dragon games that we're going to be getting. The second one is called Like a Dragon, something about the man who... Oh, what is it? No.
Man who will rule the world.
It's not in the news story that I'm looking at. I can't remember. I think the second one is...
They announced like 8 different Yakuza games, man.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna Like a Dragon. What the heck is this game called?
They definitely announced Yakuza 8, right? Or Like a Dragon 8.
Yeah, Like a Dragon 8 is coming. The Man Who Erased His Name. Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name.
So, Like a Dragon Story, The Man Who Erased. There we go. That's the translation.
Yeah. Then Like a Dragon 8, which will have 2 playable characters. It is the dude from Yakuza 7, whose name I cannot remember right off the top of my head.
I really need to play that, but I need to finish 0, 1, 2, and 5, and 6.
I've played 0, 1, and 2. That's as far as I've gotten. I need to play 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then Kiryu will be the other playable character. He is coming back, and he looks much older. So he's got gray hair now.
Kiryu needs to be in Tekken. Just a guest character.
Has he not been before?
I don't think he's been an official character. He's been a mod.
Okay. Yeah, he seems like a perfect fit for a game like Tekken.
Oh, most definitely. Like he's got fighting combos, so he's set up for it.
Yeah. Sony announced their not NFT initiative called PlayStation Stars, which is very much, it's like the Xbox rewards thing where you can earn digital collectibles, which is something the Xbox doesn't really have, but then you'll also be able to earn, credit for the PlayStation Store and stuff like that by doing things, playing games on the PlayStation. Rolls out later this month. It is free for anybody that wants to join.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Synduality, a new third-person mech shooter from Bandai Namco, will be out later or next year.
I'm gonna have to see more on this, but it looks like the tank has its AI projects a girl flying around it.
Yeah. Interesting.
So,
I'm a sucker for a good mech game.
Oh yeah, I think we all are mostly.
The not Bayonetta game coming to the PlayStation by Korean studio Shift Up.
Stellar Blade.
Stellar Blade.
Formerly known as Project Eve.
Yes, it looks very much like a Bayonetta game. They are leaning heavily into the female protagonist and all the things that come along with that. It's very fast-paced action like Bayonetta. But yeah, so that is coming. Team Ninja is bringing their version of Yakuza Ishin, or Ghost of Tsushima, to the PS5. It's called Rise of the Ronin.
It looked really good.
I mean, I'm making light of the situation because we have seen a lot of samurai games on the PlayStation. But yeah, Rise of the Ronin looks incredible.
Yes, it does.
So good. It'll be out in 2024, so we've got a while to wait for that one, but it looks so good. Then Sony ended the state of play with God of War, and they did a little bit of a bait and switch. I don't know if you guys thought the same thing, but they showed off some intense stuff, and then it was a controller for God of War.
They started with the controller,
yes,
and then went right into the actual trailer for the game.
Then there was 6 minutes of God of War Ragnarok, which looks really good too.
Even I was like, oh, they're just gonna show off the controller. What a bunch of losers. And then it's like, oh no, here's the actual game. Like, okay, you guys did good.
Yeah, they're like, lower the expectations, and bam, here you go. And yeah, it looked really good.
Under
promise, over deliver. So, yeah. So I think the PlayStation State of Play was really, really good. There was a lot of stuff coming to that I would be interested in playing. And the Like a Dragon game, I was like, Micah had sent a message. He's like, oh, Micah was over the moon. He's like, everybody check on Tony because I think he may have died.
Well, I sent a message first. I was like, Yakuza Ishin US, and then I was like, someone make sure Mike is alive. He said, I'm fine. Someone check on Tony.
Yeah, this is the kind of game that would get me to buy a PS5. I don't know if that one's coming to PS4 or not, but I would buy a PS5.
I seriously doubt it.
I think that is going to be PS5, and if it comes to Xbox, it may be Series X only. So, but yeah, that was hands down the announcement of the day. Zelda, like I will play that Zelda game the day it comes out. I will love it. I will play it for hours and hours and hours, but we've known Zelda is coming. A surprise announcement of a game we thought never would come to the United States was the surprise of the show. So, I am over the moon ecstatic about that. And then, quickly, there's TGS was happening this week as well.
Yep.
Trying to see what some of the highlights for that was. Like, Microsoft started off, they had like a 40-minute presentation that was pretty heavily focused on Game Pass, and there's a lot of stuff coming to Game Pass. I mean, of course, that's what Microsoft is going to put everything they can on Game Pass at this point.
Slime Rancher 2 Early Access is on the list.
Yes, Slime Rancher 2 comes out this coming week. So I think September 22nd. And my kids are very excited about that. Abby has played tons and tons of Slime Rancher 1. And I showed her the trailer, and there are like bunny slimes and other fish slimes now that I don't think were in the first game, and she got very excited about all of those things. But yeah, a bunch of stuff dropped that day on Game Pass. Metal Helsinger, Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch Remastered, The Outer Wilds, Despot's Game, Danganronpa V3, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. All hit Game Pass a few minutes after the announcement. So, then the next day, Wolong Final Dynasty, which I don't know anything about. And then the announcement that we knew was coming. It was only a matter of time. Deathloop is coming to Game Pass this week on Tuesday.
Console only.
So, yes, it is not on PC. It is the console version of Deathloop. That means the 1-year exclusivity for the PlayStation is up, and we knew the second that happened that Deathloop would be on Game Pass. So,
which means I can play it.
Yep, and I'm curious to checking it out. I will play and see what it's all about. I don't know how much I'll play, but I'll definitely check it out. Persona 5 The Royal will be out on Game Pass October 21st.
Isn't there like a Switch version of that coming out too?
Yes.
And they're re-releasing a collector's edition of that?
I think so. So
they have like a certain name for it. It was like the Royal like Recollection or something.
Yeah,
it was weird.
Then Slime Rancher 2, September 22nd. So that'll be out this week. I think Thursday for that.
Grounded officially hits 1.0.
Yeah, Grounded leaves early access on September 27th. Valheim on the 29th for PC.
Nah. The game's kind of run its course already.
So, Capcom had a bunch of announcements at TGS. Monster Hunter Rise getting its second title update. That will add a bunch of...
Wasn't that long ago they had the first one either.
Yeah, it hasn't been that long. So
then they mentioned like how the Resident Evil stuff coming to stuff.
Resident Evil Village Gold Edition will be out on October 28th. That will, I think that will have the Winter's Expansion DLC included in it.
Yes, where you play as the daughter.
Yeah. So, and you'll be able to play in third person if you want. So they're adding a third person mode to the game. I might give that a try.
Yeah.
We'll see. Let's see. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection is coming to Switch, PS4, and PC next year. which will have
I-
all 10 games from the Battle Network series.
And apparently, you can trade the chips online or something on there now too.
Really?
Or you can trade chips somehow. I don't know how, but I think online was mentioned.
Okay. Yeah, it does have some online functionality. I do remember seeing that. Street Fighter 6 is coming. They announced some new characters. I think Ken, Blanca.
Oh man, I can't wait to try these guys. I've never heard of them before.
Yeah, some of the people you would expect to be coming to a Street Fighter game are coming to a Street Fighter game. Surprise. So,
Sonic?
That'll be it. No, not Sonic. They're not going that route. This is not going to be. They're not turning Street Fighter into Smash Brothers. So.
So you're saying Waluigi still doesn't have a chance?
Waluigi still does not. Wouldn't that be a surprise? Is it Waluigi's in Street Fighter before Smash Brothers? Let's see. Konami announced a new Yu-Gi-Oh game.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
I've never played a Yu-Gi-Oh game, so I don't know anything about it.
Don't start now. It's way too late for you.
You remember a while back we said that Konami was going to be announcing a game coming in a franchise that people would be very happy about, and had said it was not going to be Metal Gear, it was not going to be Castlevania. There was one other one. I don't remember.
It doesn't matter because it wasn't any of those three series.
It wasn't. No, they announced that Suikoden 1 and 2 will be coming. They'll be getting HD remasters and will be out in 2023 on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. And I think a lot of people got very excited at this announcement. So, I have played a Suikoden game. I don't remember which one it was. It's been a very long time. We got more footage of Sonic Frontiers. Be out on November 8th. What else? A bunch of other games coming from 505 Games. They publish a lot of smaller titles, but like Assetto Corsa, which is a racing game. Ayuden Chronicles Rising and 100 Heroes will be out in January. Some of these I don't know a lot about. Gunfire Reborn, Rogue Spirit, Unholy.
Unheard Voices of Crime, Stray Blade, and Miasma Chronicles.
Yeah, I don't know anything about any of these. So I have not watched a lot of the footage from TGS this week.
I haven't watched any of it, so yay.
I watched the Direct a couple of times because I watched it once with the sound off while I was at work, and then I watched it again so I could actually pay more attention to it. And then I watched the Sony State of Play as it was happening. But yeah. What do you guys think of the stuff? It was like mini E3 this week with Tokyo Game Show happening.
Well, I don't know what Jeff Keighley plans to show off for his award ceremony stuff now.
Yeah, what is going to be a world premiere at the Winter Keighley's?
It's going to be really hard for him to top that, so I'm looking forward to that now. I mean, he's nowhere to go up but up, and if he doesn't go up, well...
I mean, they could go down from here, so... the Keighley's, though. The
Keighley's.
The Game Awards, they can only go up. I mean, I guess it is possible that they could be worse than they've been in the past, but... maybe they get rid of the awards part and just announce all of that before it, and the Game Awards is just trailers.
No. Well, they'll get rid of the awards and they'll get rid of the trailers and just go all esports.
Oh, okay. And then give everybody trophies at the end?
Participation trophies, yeah.
Okay, there you go. But what stood out to you guys overall this week? Anything?
I basically already mentioned all the stuff while we're talking about that stood out to me, so.
What about you, Cole? Is there anything you're looking forward to from this?
Not yet.
There was no Destiny stuff shown off, so...
Yeah. That's okay. I already know the next expansion's in February, or the last day of February.
Man, it looks so good. like that 80s neon vibe.
Yeah.
With that just looks really good.
Like a dragon.
Hey, if we could get Kiryu in Destiny somehow, I'd be all for that.
Oh, he probably is.
If they could figure out a way to let me just beat down baddies with bicycles in Destiny, I'd play that game every day.
I mean, you can literally run anybody over you want with your Sparrow.
It's not the same though. I
Isn't
want
it?
I want to pick up a bicycle and just beat the snot out of everything on the screen.
We just need a future like a dragon game where you just pick up a sparrow and beat the crap out of people with it.
Okay, there you go. Make that game and I'll play it.
What's the meta for boss damage on this boss again? Yeah, Sparrow. Always on time. Always on time is the meta for this boss.
So yeah, that will be it for the show though this week. So thank you very much, Cole, for being here.
Thanks for tolerating me.
And thank you, Ethan, as well.
Go watch Community.
But I want to play Metal Helsinger.
That sounds like a personal problem.
Oh.
You can do both.
I'll see what I can do.
Watch it on Amazon Prime.
Oh.